Hey, what's up, everybody? This is a little impromptu video. I really wasn't planning on making it because I'm at work right now. But I came outside on a break and I was just checking the news like I always do. And that's when I found out, and probably you've already heard about this, is that Toys R Us is closing up to 182 stores in the United States of America as part of its Chapter 11 restructuring plan. Toys R Us went into bankruptcy last year, or they filed for bankruptcy protection last year, which doesn't mean that they're going out of business, but it's just something that companies do to kind of try to get those creditors off their backs as they try to basically reorganize and restructure the company so that they can stay open. And unfortunately, the fallout from that in this situation is a lot of stores are going to be closing and a lot of people are going to be losing their jobs. I'm going to leave a link in the description to Toys R Us's website where they list all the stores they're planning on closing, as well as a letter that they provided to customers, so you can get all the information straight from the horse's mouth, straight from Toys R Us. And it's just sad, in addition to a lot of people losing their jobs, chances are a Toys R Us store near you is going to be closing. It's in all kinds of states, here in Georgia, but also in Florida, Illinois, Indiana, New York, Texas, Washington. I mean, just about every state there's going to be a Toys R Us closing in. If you live in the Atlanta, Georgia region like I do, man, we are just kind of being gutted right now. They're closing the. Well, here's the thing. I say that they're closing, but they also kind of left the door open a little bit to say that these are the stores that may all be closed. There's a chance that maybe one or two or more of them can stay open, just kind of depending on how things go. But as of right now, they are all on the list to be closed. So over here in the Atlanta region, the Toys R Us in Smyrna, Georgia, which is like in the Cumberland area, one that I went to so many times. That one's on the list to be closed. If you live further south, the Toys R Us in Fayetteville, Georgia, which is in this really big shopping pavilion. I've been there a bunch too. Across the street, there's this Walmart, and then there's Target, and then there's a movie theater on that exact same side. It's a very nice shopping complex over there. But that one is closing as well. Douglasville, Georgia, that Toys R Us is closing. Douglasville is a little more sort of northwest, somewhat. That one's closing, and it's crazy because it's almost like like a triangle effect, And I think that there's one in Alpharetta that they're closing. There's one in Atlanta proper that they're closing. The only Toys R Us store that's remaining open in my area that I even know about is the one in Kennesaw. The one in Kennesaw, Georgia, is not on the list, sort of where the town center stores are. But beyond that, I mean that's it, and that is serious. So my heart goes out to everyone who just woke up this morning and just found out, hey, the bankruptcy procedures have caused us to get rid of your jobs, and they're going to have some store closing stuff going on starting next month in February, and it's going to extend to April. So when April 2018 is over, most, if not all, of these Toys R Us stores are just going to be gone, unless they can figure out a way to negotiate more favorable lease conditions. But if not, they're going to be gone. And it's a huge blow, to the industry in general, to the toy industry in general, because Toys R Us is the biggest primarily toy retailer in the entire country. And it's been that way for a very long time. The only store that I can think of that even challenged Toys R Us or was even into some of the same stuff that Toys R Us is into was KB Toys. And how long has KB Toys been out of business? A very, very long time. Sure, you have stores that have toy departments. Sure, you got Walmart. Sure, you got Target. You got some specialty stores here and there, GameStop. But Toys R Us has been the only store that deals mostly with toys and a lot of things that you can't get in Walmart or Target or these other places that you can find in Toys R Us. Just right off the top of my head, companies like NECA. When you want to buy a NECA product and you want to go into a store and get it, if you're not going into like a comic book shop or somewhere, you're going to Toys R Us. That's where you know that you can find them. And for a lot of us, that's not going to be an option anymore. So where are you going to get your NECA stuff? You're going to have to try to get it online. You try to buy it directly from them on Amazon, or on eBay, or the prices, might be a little bit higher because, they'll be charging shipping and everything, but that hurts NECA's physical store presence. You gotta think about Funko and their huge line of products, not just pops, but their wacky wobblers, their action figures, the vinyls, just all this stuff that you would see in Toys R Us. Where are they gonna go now? Because shelf space in all these other stores is extremely competitive, and there's not enough room. You can't just force all that stuff into the toy aisle of Target or Walmart. There's just not enough room for all that. So, that hurts them a lot. And Jakks Pacific as well. They had to change their financial forecast earlier because of the Toys R Us closing. That was one of the things that they mentioned, like their financial report to investors, that like, hey, basically saying we're not going to be doing as good as we thought that we probably were because Toys R Us is closing, and then that hurts us. And that's very true. And you look at Jakks Pacific stock price over the past month or so, and even longer than that, it's just been down, and maybe it'll go up a little bit. It's down to like $2 and something, as of the recording of this video. But this is not about stock. The whole point is just to let you know like how much this can hurt from us from a consumer standpoint, because it's going to be harder to find things that we want, and then for the company's standpoint, it's really going to hit them as well. So it's a pretty grim day in the world of toys, because that's a lot of inventory. It's like, where's it going to go? Where are you going to get your WWE elites? In Walmart, they don't stock them as much as they should. You'll see the same things in Walmart for months. At least Toys R Us kept up a decent rotation of stock. What about those the cosplay Marvel products, or the life-size Power Ranger helmets, and the Legacy Power Rangers toys, and all the different Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles things? I mean, the list goes on and on and on and on. There's not going to be enough space for all that stuff inside these other retailers. It's just not. So I guess we'll see where things go from here. Maybe ToysRUs.com, maybe that will still stay open. I'm not too sure. Kind of like how when Circuit City closed down physically, you could still buy from CircuitCity.com. But it's not going to be the same. You want to walk into these places. That's the whole point. Majority of toy hunts consist of being in Toys R Us, and without that, it's just bad news. So, once again, condolences to anybody that's, losing their jobs. I hope that you can get back on your feet as soon as possible. I know what that is to be, panicking and trying to look for a job and try to make some money. Things just happen. You weren't expecting it to. So, I hope you can land on your feet, as soon as possible. And guess we'll just see where everything goes from here. So, once again, links in the description of this video. You can read the letter from Toys R Us's executives, as well as the list of all of the store closings, their addresses, the cities, the states, everything that you need to know. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm going to have to go back to work, and I'll talk to you later.